today we can talk about the basic strokes. So when you want to do rudiments like the paradiddle, right, it contains basic strokes. That means the basic rudiment of single stroke and double stroke. So every stroke you can play in many different ways, and you can approach it differently. You can play on a rebound, you can play without a rebound, you can play very controlled, you can play soft, loud. You have different points of control in your hand. So the first thing is basic stroke is basically the tap, right? This is a loud tap. Right? So please ask me questions. So this is a loud tap. Right? Or we also call it the free stroke, right? So you basically start and stop at the same point. The advantage of this is that because you start and stop at the same point, you can execute the same stroke from the same position every time. So your hand, because if I stop here, if I want to do the same stroke, your hand has to go back up, right? So I have to do this and that. So if you do, right, if you do just that, you're ready again to make this kind of stroke. Right? So same with this hand. Right? So very important thing about this stroke, right, is that you can play it in different volumes. So a lot of times you see guys on Instagram, on YouTube, right, they can play loud and fast, right, but the trick is to play soft and slow. So I practice this stroke loud, right, so 40 or loud. So I also practice it medium loud or mezzo forte. So this should be the most natural stroke, right? This one. This is the mezzo forte or medium loud stroke. So the loud one is a little bit trickier, I feel, right? Because we are not really used to use our hands like in that kind of way. But the medium is, I feel, the most relaxed on the mezzo forte. So also don't forget to practice the very low one, right? So you can do this one, and this one. Same with the other hand, right? This is the right, this is my good hand. So I always try to practice the bad hand more, right? So you can do this, right? And then I can do like a trick, kind of a game, so we can make some patterns. For example, very simple is 4 times right, 4 times left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And we can do it loud, 2 times loud. And we can do it 2 times medium loud or mezzo forte. So this is the most natural one, I feel. But every time we do this, we basically try to do it as good as possible. So this is not about speed or endurance or anything. It's about doing it well, right? So now I can go loud again. So very, very important, because all these rudiments are great, but if your basic technique is not good, then you will hurt yourself and it will not sound as good. And you have to be relaxed. And you know, if you're relaxed or not, it's something you can hear. So that's not only something you can feel, but it's also something you can hear. So this is medium loud, okay? Okay, soft, very soft. The same thing for soft. I still make an open sound, so I don't do, or it's still an open sound. So you basically do the same thing for medium loud, mezzo forte, loud, or soft. The difference is the distance. So when you play soft, you play close to the drum pad, right? If you play medium, you play medium. If you play loud, right, you play high. Why? This is physics, right? Has nothing to do with drumming even. It's just, from the higher your stick goes, like falls down, from the louder it gets, right? So that's like when a tree falls over from here, or it's a tree that is a small tree and it falls over like that is already here, then it will come down less loud, right? So it's the same thing. So you can do it traditional too, but my drum is not positioned for traditional. Like traditional, you have to put it a little bit more, but you can do it as well, right? 3-stroke, soft, medium. Okay. So that's the signal, the tap, 3-stroke or tap, right? Because a lot of times when people say tap, they think about this, right? About the soft one, but you can do the tap. You can do the tap in different ways. So you can do the tap soft, but you can also do the tap loud. Right? So this is the basic. The first stroke you have to learn. Right? Now when you practice it, I wouldn't go fast. So you don't try it. Right? Just it's about relaxing. So that's about doing it well, instead of doing it fast. Because so when we practice that, we condition our body, we're building reflexes, right? And your reflex has to be relaxed. So when I go beyond that, if I go, right, I already feel I'm getting a little bit more tense, so I'm not practicing like that, right? Eventually when you play the drums or you play something on the moment, right, you're going to be able to execute it, but for practice, right, we try to be as relaxed, and we have to really feel where our own limit is, right? And especially like for me, I really feel my limit is in my weak hand, right? So when I do something fast, right, this I can kind of handle that, so it's okay. Right, but it's already like borderline for my left hand. For my right hand, I can go much faster, right? But so I can practice. If I really want to practice speed, right, this is the maximum speed I'm going to practice. So all these guys with great technique, and I'm not talking about great technique as all these guys who can play loud, right? All these guys who can control everything in different dynamics, right? They are all relaxed. Like if you see videos of Joe Morello, like he was like already super old and he could still play like. Why? Because he learned from childhood to be relaxed, right? But so this is another thing you can do, like, right? But still you start with a slow one, really slow, okay? So also feel free to ask me questions. Let's see how this thing. Oh, I was out of it for a second. Okay, now there's a chat. So let's see. This is the first time I'm doing this. the live chat. Okay, so feel free to ask me a question. If it doesn't, I hope it works. Yeah, live chat. Okay, let's see something else. Okay, so I have to go further. Right. So free stroke, right? So free stroke. Right. But again, you start, right? You start slow, because like this you can really control your movement, right? Also very important, don't put your snare too low, okay? Because if it's too low, you almost, like if it's like my knees, like this is like a 14, I think, by 5 or 5.5 snare drum, and my leg is like right under the rim, right? The first rim of the lower rim of the snare. So this is how high, and I see people putting their snare even higher than that. So I'm trying like to put it even higher. Also depends on the grip you use, but if you put it too low, right, you almost have to play French grip, because otherwise you hit your leg. Okay? So yeah. So you have the basic stroke, this one, right? Soft. Okay, you can do it in different positions. Okay, so this is the first stroke, meaning the free stroke or the tap. Okay, so try out this one. Please comment. Thank you. So how do I get out of this?